This is not going to end well. Over the last 10 to 15 years, I'm sure a lot of my audience has spent their time online looking for the truth, the real truth, whether it was good news or whether it was bad news. As long as it was accurate, a plan could be made. Well, what that has done is created a situation where algorithms have been pushing to people things that make it look like there is a solution when there is none. And now we are faced with a daunting task of trying to fight through these algorithms to speak about the truth. But when it doesn't make people feel a certain way, then the algorithm kicks in and nobody actually hears the truth, even though there's no real censorship going on. Now, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who has sidestepped this and joined us over at the Florida Maquis Patreon channel. I've set it at the lowest allowable level of $1 per month. That's the vast majority of the content over there. Hundreds of videos going back years and years. We've got 4 levels total to accommodate those who want higher level content. Content that has, more of an edgy feel to it. Perhaps some things that just are completely banned here on YouTube and a lot of public platforms. Love to have you over there. God bless all of you who have. We're going to keep putting up new content as long as we can. But I'd like to ask a question. We talked about this yesterday. Trump has now said that he will, quote, most likely delay a TikTok ban temporarily, but has not made the final decision, even though it's been passed by Congress. And the strange thing we reported on yesterday was that TikTok says, well, regardless of a ban, no ban, delay, doesn't matter, we're going to shut ourselves off on Sunday. We're going to shut ourselves off and then let the chips fall where they may. Now, wasn't the argument against TikTok, though, that the Chinese were using it to spy? And if they're using it to spy, why would delaying shutting it off be a good thing? I mean, wouldn't you want to have it shut off immediately, even though it's going to hurt a lot of Americans who didn't know what they were getting into, likely? When they decided 170 million Americans that are on TikTok? You see, the reason I bring this up is that the truth of the matter is it's probably a good idea to err on the side of caution and shut the app and let the app go. Let the app shut itself off. There are other alternatives, right? It's not like it's the only place you can go upload a video, right? He said to his audience on YouTube. So even though it's going to probably inconvenience and hurt some Americans in the short term, in the long term, it would be a better choice. Which takes me back to here, but it seems... This is why I guess I don't understand Trump people that are diehards. Especially when we have news like this. U.S. Treasury to take extraordinary measures after Trump inauguration. Janet Yellen has told Congress that her department will pause retirement payments. That's how bad things are financially right now in the U.S. And people are arguing about an app. And you see, once again, this is going to be one of those things that we're going to have to file under the heading of, I guess, what is it? When I realize I'm stupid. And when I say I mean Americans. All 300 and something million of us. We have this going on. They can't make the payments that they've promised. 30-something trillion dollars in debt. Even Trump's own incoming Treasury Secretary has said we have less than a year. We have less than a year. Unless major league cuts are made. And this is the problem. Even Musk has said this. Now, when you put this up right next to the idea of people paying $1,000 for a ticket to a playoff game, $1,000 to a ticket to a playoff game in America, something is not right. Something doesn't make sense. Commanders Lions NFL playoff ticket prices break record ahead of Saturday's game. I thought America was broke. Prices for the cheapest seats will cost around the same as an average monthly grocery bill in Detroit. On the social platform X, ESPN's Field Yates cited TickPick, which tracks ticket prices, when he said the average price for a ticket to the Lions game is $991. How many of you would like to have $991 to spend on groceries or other things? Some people are spending that just to sit and watch not a Super Bowl game, not even the game that's going to decide who goes to the Super Bowl. It's the divisional weekend. Oh, and on that game and all other games, U.S. online gambling has gone through the roof. Where's all this extra money coming from? Betting revenues are just absolutely skyrocketing, meaning people have leftover money that they're betting. But then also, we see people saying, oh, we're broke. Well, Americans have no money. It's Biden's fault. And when all of these categories of expendable luxury income are going through the stratosphere. I covered this one, and it bothers a lot of people, but, we need to talk about the truth. OnlyFans creators in America, the vast majority of which in America, made more money as a group last year than every single NBA salary combined. And not by a little, by a lot. You take all the money made by all the girls dancing around in their underwear online, and you put up next to all these guys who are multimillionaires, and you add in all the salaries, they beat them by $1.7 billion. $1.7 billion in a country that's $36 trillion in debt. You know what this reminds me of? Giving money to the homeless and then watching them walk to the liquor store for food. You see somebody, they've got a sign on the side of the road. They look like, they haven't eaten in a week. And you think, you know what? I've got a buck or two. It's a hot day out, or it's maybe, now this time of year, it's freezing cold out. And you give them $1 or $2. And then, later on, you'll see them in the liquor store aisle, or the liquor aisle at the grocery store, or the liquor store itself. When you realize you're stupid. And when I say you, I don't mean you, the listener. I mean you, the figurative you, when you realize, okay, I believe something. I was convinced using my emotions. That something I wanted to believe was true was not. Think about that. And the reason I've scrolled back to the Patreon channel is this is what we talk about over there. How to delete emotions during certain times so that you don't get taken advantage of. See this, when people read this, Trump says he will most likely delay TikTok ban. That's because he cares about Americans. He cares about those users of TikTok more so than he cares about the rest of the Americans who are being spied on by China. You see, if you just, and this is how I know it's a cult, and I'll leave with this. If you just would delete the word Trump and put the word Biden, everybody in my audience go, oh, see, Biden's working with the Chinese, even though Xi Jinping is going to be at, there's going to be a Chinese billionaire up on the dais at Trump's inauguration, and Trump has recently come out and said he's had a wonderful conversation with Xi Jinping, and Xi Jinping has actually had dinner at Mar-a-Lago with Trump. I guarantee if Xi Jinping was having dinner with Kamala Harris anywhere or Biden anywhere, people would be losing their minds. But when the person has dinner with Trump, it's perfectly fine. This is my point, is that it's the strangest, oddest thing I have ever seen. That when it's Donald Trump, no bad can possibly be done, no matter how bad objectively it is. And everybody else is automatically always doing something bad, even when sometimes they're doing the exact same thing. So I guess I would just have to ask, are you for TikTok continuing? Are you for the ban? Should they shut themselves off? Or, a lot of people out there, I'm sure, I guess, don't use it. But If it was any other platform, let's say it was YouTube. Then what would your opinion be? If you were saying, okay, well, if the Chinese were using YouTube to spy on Americans, we need to get rid of YouTube. Then, okay. Then why delay? Why delay? We've known this for years. And years and years and years we've known this. It was never any secret that it was a Chinese platform. So, I will leave it there. Once again, God bless. Thank you, all of you who've signed up over there. I very, very much appreciate it. Pray for each other. Pray for America. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.